Happy lunch hour, gang. All right. Not going to tell anybody something here that surprises you, but food's got expensive. Food's also a little scarce, too, right? Depending on where you fit in the hierarchy of being able to buy groceries. Used to be you go to the store, you got your little basket. I'm not talking a cart. I'm talking about the little red basket that you carry around. $25, and you had what was in there. Now, of course, that cost you $100, and you've got a basket of food. Maybe it lasts you a few days. Forget about prices of meat and what everything that's in them, right? But this is the issue that's running in, and maybe some of you guys can relate to this. I know I certainly can. Everybody falls in this hierarchy somewhere different. A couple of years ago, the people that were shopping at Whole Foods, now maybe you're shopping at Kroger. The people who are shopping at Kroger, now maybe they're shopping at Aldi. And now the people that were shopping at Aldi, maybe they're shopping more at Dollar General. What about the people who are shopping at Dollar General? They can't afford that now. Now they're shopping at the food banks, right? Okay. Remember the comment that Klaus Schwab made a while back about useless eaters? Okay. We have to depopulate. We need to get rid of these people that don't contribute anything, whatever it would be. We need to get rid of people. What's the easiest way to do? Starve them out. Hey, we could raise the price of food. People can't afford it, right? That's what we'll do. The amount of people going to food banks is increasing. And get this, all 50 states. Okay? That food banks are seeing more and more people. What are food banks seeing less and less of? Food. Okay? Here's the issue. The donations that are coming from people like you and me and companies, charities, whatever, are drying up. Okay? The cost, according to the USDA, and I know we can say again, this is going to be government figures. The cost for food for a food bank has gone up 5.8% this year. Again, like I said, those are the artificial numbers that the food banks, or that the government tells us about the food banks. We all know that's a lot more, okay? Because if you or I are donating anything to the food banks, like we do, okay, it doesn't cost us any less by walking into the grocery store and saying, hey, I'm going to pick up a couple extra of this or whatever and donate to the food bank. We still pay the same retail, which y'all know as well as I do is probably closer around 40%, certainly under 6%. Okay. But so here's the issue. The food banks are coming out and saying their donations are down. Why? Because people aren't donating to the food banks when they can't put enough food in their house for their family, right? I ran across an article, this one's out of Macon, Georgia, okay? And just one food bank there said they served 1,750 people last year, monthly, okay? This year it's 2,500, not people, households. This year it's 2,500, okay? So they've added an extra 750 people to the amount of people they're serving. Or about, 30%, thereabouts? That's an increase. But there isn't the food. So now, what are we seeing? We're seeing the people who have been pushed down the scale so far, they can't afford to eat. Well, you want to make this even better? And I'll link this below so you can read it. I'm going to read you what the headline of the story is out of one of the radio stations in Oregon, Liberal Oregon. This is the headline. Oregon Food Bank says, sorry, Timmy, you're too white to eat today. They are now deciding in Oregon who gets food from a food bank based on their race. And as the food bank says on their website, Black, Indigenous, and people of color, immigrants and refugees, and gender-expansive folks have priority to get food from the food bank. I want you to think about that for a second. You're not good enough to eat because of the color of your skin. Somebody please tell me a little bit about that white privilege again. Oh, the white privilege that people have supposedly to starve, to not be able to put food in their kids' bellies at night. I think there's every parent out there in the country, regardless of race, who has given up some of what was on their dinner plate so their kids had a full belly. Okay? Didn't matter if they were white, black, Asian, Hispanic, indigenous, whatever. Okay? There might be a few who've never had to do that, the silver spoon crowd. But I'll bet you it's crossed their mind once or twice that if there wasn't enough, who would get it in the house? Me or my kids? Any of you, and I know there's people on this channel that are certainly older than I am, okay, who had parents that lived through the Depression, certainly know the stories from them about mom skipping a meal, dad skipping a meal, so the kids had something to eat. Because that's what we do. We help other people. All races, all colors, all creeds. We take care of our kids. That's human nature. But when you have the last bastion of somewhere to go to eat, and they tell you, I'm sorry, Timmy, you're too white to have any food. What does that tell you? Who's failed? Did the food bank fail? Yup. Did the local politicians fail? Yup. Did the federal politicians fail? Yup. Why is it that Timmy can't get, I don't know, a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, something as simple as that, to have for lunch, while another kid gets it? What did Timmy do wrong? It's not Timmy's fault that the economy's stupid. Timmy's not old enough to vote for Joe. Okay. But Timmy's the one that suffers. We're coming into the holiday season. You guys know every year we do a fundraiser for the food bank here. Okay. Last year we took in a trailer full and 2 truckfuls worth of food for Christmas presents, for the animal shelter. That's what we do. A lot of you donate on your own, which is totally cool with me too. Okay? Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying, gee, you got to do it through me. It's just something we do. Okay. But this year, because we're now into year 3 of the failure that is the Biden experiment, more and more people are going into winter, fall, when the weather's going to start getting colder. Maybe without warm socks or a winter jacket, a pair of gloves, depending on where you are. Okay, might need those. A knit hat. Food. As we do all our prepping, okay, think a little bit about maybe the kids that are told they're not allowed to eat tonight because some politician, some bureaucrat somewhere has a hard-on for being a racist. Okay. Maybe you can help them. Maybe I can help them. Maybe we all can do a little bit more. Because what we're finding now is even the charities are failing society because politics has decided to get in the way of feeding people. This is how countries fail. When the government, when compassion no longer exists. I'll skip a meal. I'll skip a bunch of meals if it means a kid eats. Doesn't even have to be my kid. But when you have somebody up there who has the nerve to make a decision on whether or not a family gets dinner tonight because of the genetic lottery they supposedly won because they're any certain color, you're a disgusting human being if you think that's okay. And there's a cold place in hell for the people that made this decision. And I hope to God the people that read this, that live in Oregon, raise hell with this charity. Get every single person that works there out. And the day when they show up and go, I can't find a job, I need some food. And they say, I'm sorry, you're too white.